Hello students, in this tutorial we are going to learn how database can be developed in WINISIS, and here we will be covering the first two steps, how to create FDT or field definition table and how to control the data entry worksheet. You already know in the previous tutorials that the database development process in WINISIS includes a total of 4 steps: FDT, data entry worksheet, display format and creation of FST. So, in this tutorial we are going to cover in details the first 2 steps, and in the next tutorial we will be covering the last 2 steps. So, here you see the field definition table creation as we discussed, that is based on a standard content designator format system or formats like Mark 21, Unimark or common communication format. Most of the examples we will be actually taking for this tutorial from common communication format bibliographic developed by UNESCO and the third revised edition published in 1994 by UNESCO. So, this you already know that there are 4 steps, and we need to go to that particular database creation process by clicking the new database here. Now, the moment you click new database, it will open a new options, but before that you need to know the different kind of options available in CDSIS. First, if you closely look into this particular picture, the first is coming is the title bar, then under that it is the menu bar, then it is the toolbar. So, by utilizing any of these options you can go for the creation of new database, and at the bottom of this particular field status bar will be displayed. Now, the moment we click the new options under the database option, it will actually enter into a prompt where you have to give the name of the database. Here one point you have to remember, or one fact you have to remember, that the name of the database should not exceed 6 character. So, because WINISIS can handle the database name maximum 6 character, and the moment you are entering a particular database name within the limit, that is within the limit of 6 characters, WINISIS will automatically create a dvn.par file. Say for example, if your database name is xyz, it will create dvn.par xyz part.par file by default. Now, this is actually the moment you enter your database name, you click next and the FDT screen appears. If you take a close look into this particular screen, that you see there are 4 columns actually. The first column is the tag, second is the name, third is the type, fourth is the whether the field is repeatable or not. If it is repeatable, you have to check this particular box, and the final one is the pattern or subfield. The moment you enter the each row here, you have to click the add button available next to the pattern and subfield. So, in this way you can go on adding any number of fields on the basis of the nature of the field. You have to take the different kind of pattern, subfield, repeatability and non-repeatability feature. Now, when data entry for the field definition table is completed, then you can sort the fields, you can reposition the field by using upper arrow key and the lower arrow key, or there is a sort option, sort field option there, from where you can actually sort the number of parameters or the number of tags added by you according to their tag value. Now, here if you see the restriction of the nature of the FDT, the CDSIS for DOS version, actually the FDT parameters are not up to that level. That means the database creation is not really based on the definition of FDT. For example, you have not defined, in case of CDSIS for DOS, if you are not defining a particular field, a repeatable field, then also you can enter different occurrence values for a particular field. But in compare with the CDSIS for DOS version, WINISIS or CDSIS for Windows is much more sophisticated, and it can control really the data entry options or data entry features by the cataloger. So, if you have not defined a particular tag or field as repeatable, you cannot enter there many occurrences as per your requirement. So, you need to be very careful in defining different fields and related content and parameters in case of CDSIS for Windows. If we now consider the different column values like tag, name, pattern, etc., let us go one by one. Now, if you see the tag, it says that you can use the up and down arrows if you like to select the number or type. But here you have to remember also that most of the standard content designators are basically providing tags as 3-digit number. Say for example, in CCF 200 is the tag for title and statement of responsibility area. In case of Mark 21, 245 is the tag for title and statement of responsibility area, and then this particular tags are again divided into number of subfields. In case of CCF, the tag 200 is again divided into two subfields, subfield A and subfield B. Subfield A is the title proper and subfield B is the statement of responsibility related to the title. Similarly, if you have a look into the 245 title tag of Mark 21, there also it is divided into number of subfields. The most prominent three subfields are subfield A, subfield B and subfield C. So, in this way you have to take into consideration tags and the subfields. Now, after your tag definition is over, then you have to provide a name for that particular tag. If you are using a standard content designator system, you better stick to the name given or the label given by the code, and here the one restriction is there, the name can be maximum of 31 character and it may include space. So, after your name declaration is over, you need to go to the type. Type, there are three types of data which WINISIS can handle. Alphanumeric, that means this particular field may contain alphabets as well as numerical values. Then it can be alphabetic, that means this particular field can accept or can handle only alphabets or characters. And third is the numeric field or the numeric type, that means it can handle only numerics or Indo-Arabic numerals. Next comes the repeatable checkbox. If you think a particular tag or particular field is repeatable in nature, you please check the box. And if you are following a standard content designator scheme, the repeatability and non-repeatability nature of different bibliographic data elements are clearly indicated there. So, that is an advantage if you are using a standard content designator scheme, then you can select right from the consulting code which field is repeatable, which field is not repeatable. In a non-repeatable field, you do not have to check the box, and in case of a repeatable field, you have to check the box. Then comes the pattern and subfield. Here we have to actually declare different subfields related to a particular field. I have already given you an example that suppose you are using Mark 21 as content designator standard, and you please consider the tag for title and statement of responsibility, which is 245. Now, the most prominent three subfields of 245 is 3, subfield A title proper, subfield B reminder of the title, and subfield C statement of responsibility related to the title. So, if we are using Mark 21 content designator format and we have to divide the title tag, that is 245 tag, into 3 subfields, and we have to enter A, B, C into the pattern and subfield box. Now, pattern can be of much more sophisticated also. Right from the pattern itself, you can actually control the data entry operation. If you have a close look here, here you see this pattern can be controlled as X indicates it contains alphanumeric value, A indicates it will include only alphabet, and 9 indicates it will include only numeric. Now, if I add pattern as 99-999 /AA, it means in the first 5 character value position we can enter numeric value, Say in the example here we have given 35746. Now, after forward slash we can enter alphabets. So, the moment your cataloger exceeds or goes beyond this data entry rule, the WINISIS will object and your cataloger cannot enter data here. So, right from here it is a very sophisticated mechanism. Right from here you can control the data entry operation of your cataloger or data entry operator by defining different kind of pattern and subfields. Now, after your pattern and subfield definition is over, then your FDT is ready and you can move to the next steps. But before that, let us see an example of a very simple FDT here in the screen. So, here you see in the screen I have created one particular simple FDT by not following any standard content designator system. It is a very simple one. I have just taken 10 for author, 20 for title, 30 for series and so on. So, in this way also you can create a database, and when you are learning WINISIS database management system, possibly this is the best way to learn WINISIS. You create database according to your convenience and you do not have to follow initially the standard code and standard content designator. But the moment you are playing with the WINISIS is over, you are about to enter into the production level, there you should not follow this kind of approach. There you need to develop your FDT by depending or by taking into consideration a standard content designator scheme. Here you can see in the screen a very complex FDT we have developed by using CCF-B, that is common communication format bibliographic. And here you can see the different tags we have taken as defined in CDSIC. The names we have given according to the level given in CCF. Then we have declared the type of the data. In most of the cases type is alphanumeric, because a catalog data or a title record can include both alphabets and numeric. So, it is always safe to declare a type as alphanumeric one until and unless you are quite sure that it will be an access numeric field. Say for example, when you have created a field called accession number, there you can restrict that it should be numeric value, but please remember that in some libraries accession number is alphanumeric. Say they starts with the different kind of collection code and then a sequential number. So, for libraries it is always safe to define a particular data type as alphanumeric. Then comes the repeatability and non-repeatability. Here you can see in the column some fields are repeatable and which indicates by by checking of the repeatable box, and some fields are non-repeatable. And in the pattern and subfield column we have given different kind of subfields as prescribed by content designator scheme. Here we have taken values from CCF-B. As I told you, most of the examples I will be showing here in this tutorial, we have taken it from CCF-B, Common Communication Format Bibliographic, 3rd revised edition, published in 1994. Now, in this way you can define your FDT. It can be very complex if you are really in production mode and taken into consideration different standard content designator format. Now, there are many other options available in this FDT. As you see, you can sort by tag number, you can reposition the different tags and fields by using upper function key or upper arrow key or the lower arrow key. Now, the moment this function is over, you can click OK to save and can enter into the next step, which is basically data entry worksheet design. At any point of time also you can modify your FDT. Say for example, you defined one FDT, a very complex FDT by following CCF-B, but after that you realized there is some spelling mistake or some tag value you have entered wrongly. So, here again you can modify under the edit option, you can have edit field definition table. The moment you click that particular option, it will again take you into the field definition table. where you can perform different kind of correction steps, and after that correction steps are over, you can save it and you can go into the next, that is the data entry worksheet. Now, it is a caution again, you can modify your FDT for any number of times, but please remember that all your FDT modification, FDT correction should occur before entering the real life databases. Say for example, after you have entered thousands of records and then you have changed your FDT majorly, then it may create a lot of problems for you. Say for example, the moment you add a new field in the FDT, it need to be reflected into the data entry worksheet, it needs to be reflected into FST, and it needs to be reflected in the display format. So, after your FDT is over and you have entered lot of records into your database, then modification of FDT is little bit difficult and you have to take proper care and proper notes related to each modification of the FDT. And please remember, if there is any change in the FDT after your data entry operation is started, then it should be reflected into the data entry worksheet, it should be reflected into FST, and it should be reflected into display format. Otherwise, your new added fields won't be of much help for the cataloger or users. So, with this caution or precautionary note, we are entering into the next step, that is the creation of the data entry worksheet. Now, when we are entering data entry worksheet, it is nothing but a kind of form where cataloger actually enter different bibliographical data item values. In DOS version of CDSIS, we need to do a lot of modification to create a proper worksheet for data entry, but in CDSIS for Windows, the operations are very simple. The only operation is that you have to select which particular tag or field value you need to take into data entry worksheet, and then after taking that particular field into data entry worksheet, you can go on entering different help message, different model values, pickup list definition and record validation. One by one we will be discussing all of this. Now, here you see the same FDT we have created on the basis of common communication format B is now actually available in the next steps. We can select a particular field and click the uppermost arrow to transfer the value or tag from the left hand panel to the right hand panel. The moment it comes to the right hand panel, it means that it is now part of the data entry worksheet. And if you want everything into the data entry worksheet, instead of picking one by one, you can simply click the double arrow sign, the last double arrow sign in the in between the two column, left panel and the right panel. There is the last option is the double arrow. The moment you click the double arrow, all the fields and tags in the left hand panel will transfer momentarily into the right hand panel. Then suppose you have decided that some of the fields you want to extrude from the data entry worksheet. So, you select that particular field in the right hand panel and just just click the second arrow, and you can see the face of the arrow. That means, the first one is from left panel to the right panel, second one is from right panel to left panel. That means, you are deleting a particular tag or field from the data entry worksheet, and the last column is that everything you want from the left panel in one go into the right panel. And there are many other options you can see here. One is the save. After your operation is over, you can save this, and you can again sort or you can again reposition the different kind of data elements in the data entry worksheet. Say for example, if I want the field 20 at the bottom, I will select that particular field and will click the downward arrow until and unless it goes to the bottom. Similarly, if we want to switch over something from the bottom to top, I will select that field and will click the upward arrow until and unless it reaches the target position. Then there we can control the record validation. You can see a sign called pencil and paper. The moment you click that particular button, it will go to the record validation window. So, there we can enter the default values. Say for example, some you want to create a field where the code for your library will be there. Now, instead of entering in each record the 5-letter code for your library, you can define in the model value, this is the code for my library, and the moment you create a new record, this will be, this particular field or tag will be predefined with the model value you have given here. You do not have to enter data. Second box actually says about the help message. As I told you earlier, that if you are following a standard content designator format, then there are many subfields and cataloger may not remember all of them. So, here you can give some help message that whether it is a mandatory field or not, whether it is a repeatable field or not, what are the subfields associated with this particular field, how to enter record data into that particular field. You can also provide some examples here. So, in this way you can make your help message very rich in nature and it will help really the cataloger at the time of data entry. The next box indicates the record validation, and record validation is also a very important features in data entry worksheet. Here we can control the right kind of data entry operation from the end of the cataloger or the data entry operator. Say for example, here I have given the field as type of material. This particular field value is a coded value we need to take from CCF. The coded value is available in 3 digit. There are 2 indicator character positions 0 0. There is one subfield delimiter caret sign and one subfield A. So, all total there are 7 characters. So, I have given a command here, if size colon the tag number, that is the tag number is here 60, the size colon V60 greater than 7, then you say it is a wrong data entry. Okay. So, the beauty of this record validation is that if your data entry operation is wrong, if you are entering some character which are more than the required value, then it will give you a message it is a wrong data entry. And the last one is basically the pickup list definition. We are not describing the pickup list definition here, we have an exclusive tutorial for pickup list definition, as it is very much required for handling standard bibliographical data entry. Now, let us see the effect of the help message, the model values and the record validation. Now, here you see the moment I select this one, this type of material tag 60 and enter a value which is more than 7 character, including the indicator character position, subfield delimiter and subfield itself. So, as it exceeds the required character length 7, WINISIS immediately gave me a message it is a wrong data entry. So, in this way it can help cataloger to enter right values, and at the same time it can help database manager to maintain consistency in data entry operation. So, record validation is a very important utility of data entry worksheet. And next great utility is the pickup value. Here you see the fields which is actually encoded with the red arrow here, the moment that means these are attached with the pickup list. The moment I click this arrow here, so this will actually pop up a list of values from which I can select a particular value and it will go into the database. I do not have to enter data, as this is very much required in case of standard bibliographic data entry format, because most of the content designators like Mark 21, CCF or Unimark have given different coded values for different fields. Say for example, in 300 subfield E, CCA provided a list of role codes. If you are the if it is an author, the role code will be different. If he or she is a compiler, the role code will be different. So, the long list a cataloger cannot remember at the time of data entry. So, there we can create this kind of pickup list on the basis of coded value given by content designator, and can attach that pickup list with the required tag or field. And here the beauty is that cataloger do not have to enter any data, they just click that particular pickup list icon, and the pop up window will come. From there they need to select that particular value. Now, as a whole you see that the whole data entry worksheet creation in WINISIS gives us proper control and much more sophisticated controlling options and operation control behavior from the cataloger end, and it also help us to create different kind of value added pickup list from where a cataloger can pick up the values. So, this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you.